Welcome into Carroll High School, the site of tonight's premier matchup in the area of Indiana high school baseball between the 21-1 and now number 1 in the state 4A ranked Huntington North Vikings visiting the 18th state ranked 15-7 Carroll Chargers. As I mentioned, probably going to be one of the games of the year for the regular season as teams are starting to gear up for sectional play in just a couple weeks here towards the end of May. I'm Balin Height. I'll be with you all night long, or all game long, I should say, here. As we get set, today's broadcast is being brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the DNR Worst Athletic Complex here at Carroll High School. Tonight's ball game between the visitors from Huntington North High School and your Carroll Chargers. Leading off the top of the first inning for Huntington North is the center fielder, number 16, Colin Landrum.
Starting the game off for the Chargers on the mound is Langston Ginder. He's 3-1 with a 2.13 ERA. He's compiled 27 strikeouts over 26 and a third innings pitched. He's appeared in 6 games. 4 of those were starts. Leading it off for the Vikings as he takes a first pitch ball to start this one off is the center fielder Colin Landrum. Takes that one outside 2-0. Start off the AB. That one pops in there for a strike, and Ginder now getting set at 2-1. Landrum pops that up over the first baseman's head. That's Perlick, couldn't get to it. It'll roll into right field. And be the first hit of the ball game, and Huntington North aboard. Start things off here. Mentioned Huntington North number 1 overall now. First time all season long as they've climbed the best record in the state among 4A schools at 21-1. Haven't lost since April 7th. Been on a roll. Quick fire back, checking the runner down at first is Hayden Jones. Jones, the Mississippi State commit, has attracted some pro attention over the last couple months here in his senior season. Ginder with the pickoff attempt, but Landrum back in safely. Popped out over the Charger dugout and out of play. Strike 2, so 0-2 here now on Ian McCutcheon. Mentioned Jones behind the plate. Teams such as the Astros, Padres, and the Cubs, as well as the Braves, vying for his services potentially here in the June draft. Foul tip. McCutcheon stays alive. Talked to him today. Mentioned he sees himself somewhere falling in the 5th to 1st round range is his personal goal, but anywhere he falls, definitely going to be a big decision on the senior's mind. Coming here in the summertime. Pickoff attempt at first. Landrum back in safe. Still 0-2, no outs. We got time. Looks like the bag came loose over at first base as Landrum gives it a couple stamps down. Secure it in there. Up and out, 2-1, or 1-2, excuse me. McCutcheon's at bat been slowed down by some pickoff attempts. Ginder comes set. Outside. Jones thought about a throwdown, looked at first base, but Landrum was back in safe. That one outside runs the count full. So now after going down 0-2, Ian McCutcheon worked it full. That one's up and out. And after getting ahead, Ginder loses McCutcheon, and he'll trot down to first base now. The Vikings with him at first and second. Nobody out in the inning. As Elliot Lesperance, the second baseman, steps in. Ginder surveys the runners. Come to the plate. In for a strike. That one took a slow roll, rolls down to third. They'll call it a foul ball. As the third baseman for the Chargers, Jake Shirk, played up on it, but held off as the call came in from behind the plate. Chargers not holding the runners. 0-2. Intercepts, delivers another off the end of the bat, little foul roller. That one definitely fouled the right field line. The first base line, excuse me. Still 0-2 on Lesperance. Kenner will step off and chase the runners back. And a swing and miss from Lesperance sets him down for the first out of the inning. And the Chargers get their first out. Big strikeout. Still runner on first and second. Jarrett Gray pops that one out. Center fielder runner, that's Nathan Fish for the Chargers. Gets it, keeps the runners where they were at first and second. So now 2 outs for the Chargers. Langston Ginder giving him a shot to work his way out of this jam early on. So we had first and second with nobody out. Zach Doherty will step in for the Vikings now. Trying to piece something out of this inning after 2 straight outs. That one's taken for ball 1 low. Ginder steps off now. I'm set. That one's popped up in the stands behind the backstop. Now even at 1-1. Two and one now as that one runs outside. Ginder working very cautiously out on the mound. Those 2 runners on. That one pops away. Both runners are thought they were going to advance as Jones whips it down to Shirk third. And that's Landrum just in safely. I mentioned it earlier. If you let Hayden Jones get that ball behind the plate very quick to the bases, runner beware. But now a walk loads him up with Levi Bennett, the left fielder for the Vikings, coming to the plate. Chance to do some damage. Now back, and they got him on the pickoff attempt. That was Ian McCutcheon. Couldn't get back before Ginder turned around. He looked over a couple times, thought about a throw off, and finally got him over there. As the bases were loaded, big play gets the Chargers out of the inning as they'll come up to bat in the bottom of the first inning here on SummitCitySports.com.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl.
Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Welcome back here on SummitCitySports.com. In the bottom of the second, out at Carroll High School, as we just came away where Langston Ginder got himself into a little bit of trouble, a couple walks and a hit, loaded up the bases, but a nifty pickoff move at second base was able to get the Chargers out of the inning, and now they'll come up to bat here. It'll be Ginder leading off for the Chargers. He's batting .289 on the season. Behind him in second, Jones batting .522 with 9 home runs, and Perlick, then Fish, rounding it out for the first 4 for the Chargers. Mentioned Hayden Jones not only able to do it behind the plate as a defensive threat as a catcher, but with the bat as well. 9 home runs on the season. Still a ways from the school record of 18 in one season, but already way more last year than he hit, or more than he hit in the previous season. So Ginder, the lefty, will lead it off for the Chargers here. He'll be facing the pitcher Gage Sandlin. Sandlin looks down, gets his sign, and deals for strike one. Off the end of the bat, down to the first baseman. Gray able to field it and step on the bag for the first out for the Vikings. In the bottom of the frame.
Now batting is the catcher, number 24, Hayden Jones.
Jones stepping in for the Chargers. That one up, takes ball one. That one popped in there for ball 2-0. Sandlin pops it under. That one looked close, but the count runs at 3-0. Now we'll see what Jones does at 3-0. Flies out. He was swinging on 3-0, and that runs towards the Huntington North bench. Strike once and now 3-1. Jones pops that one. Looks like he didn't get all of it, but it might drop in. It will, right between second baseman and center fielder. As Colin Landrum fields it and wraps it in. And the Chargers have their first base runner of the night on a Hayden Jones single to center field. Now Riley Perlick stepping in. Perlick headed to Wright State next season to play collegiate ball. Perlick being chased after for his pitching ability on the mound, but still can get it done at the plate. He's batting .258 in the season. That one's outside as Jones chases it down to second base, and he's in on the steal. So now runner in scoring position for Riley Perlick. Sandlin looked pretty sharp in that first at-bat to Langston Ginder, but now he's falling behind. As he gets that one in for a strike, Perlick goes swinging. Now 2-1. Sandlin checks Jones back, and now we gotta. Now we'll have time. As Dane Fife, the catcher, no, not that Dane Fife, walks out and talks to Sandlin. See what they want to do here with a runner on second. Perlick slices it down, first base line, but runs foul. Evens the count 2-2. The Chargers look destined to be on a similar path as the Vikings, as they started the season 14-1, but are now just 1-6 since. Sandlin steps off. Talked to Langston Ginder today. Told me he thinks they're out of the slump. Says personal accolades he felt among the team kind of pulled them apart a little bit. As Perlick skies that one. Troy Williams couldn't quite play it. Was right under it. Just missed it. Perlick stays alive. Trey Williams, excuse me. Over at third. Sun's playing tricks once you run past the press box here. Perlick fouls another one off, right to the backstop. Keeps the count at 2-2. Perlick once again stays alive and fouls it off. So Perlick drawing out this at bat. Really battling. Seven pitch AB. As Perlick slices it just foul. Six straight foul balls. In the at-bat. Sandlin steps off. Nobody's back to cover. So he'll hold on to it. Now he deals. Outside, runs it to full. Perlick, an outstanding athlete on the hardwood, as he was a starter this year on the SAC champion Carroll Chargers team. No one had any better post moves than Perlick, as he takes a ball low in the dirt on what would have been a 10 pitch, or what was a 10 pitch at bat. Now the Chargers have runners at first and second.
Now batting is the center fielder, number 5, Nathan Fish.
Fish digs in. Batting .309, rather speedy for the Chargers, as he's 11-11 on stolen base attempts. Sandlin turns around, tries to fire back at Jones, as Jones had a tough dig back into second base. Might have gotten a piece of the ball. Definitely had to twist back quick to get onto that one. Tough play. Head coach Dave Ginder over talking to him, making sure he's all right. Looks like he just needs a second. Puts the helmet back on. He's ready to go. Definitely a little shaken up, though. We'll pay attention to it as he's still on the bases. Ball in on Fish for the first pitch of the at-bat. Sandlin now at 18 pitches on the inning. 10 strikes, 8 balls. As that one's out. Huntington North faithful calling for a strike call, looking awfully close. But the umpire will leave it out at 2-0. As there's a nice pitch from Sandlin. Official swing for strike one, 2-1 now in the at-bat. That one's a ball in the dirt. Runnels will stay right where they're at. Good recovery there from Fife. 3-1 here. Fish swings right through it, runs the count to full, 3-2. Now Sandlin might be starting to get a little bit more of his bearings back. The chance to strike out Fish here. He'll pick off, head back to Jones. It was close. Sandlin deals, Fish pops it up. Running over to get it is McCutcheon, able to do so in foul territory for the second out of the inning. And Fish is retired. So still first and second. Jones took a bit of a slip as he was heading towards third, able to quickly recover and get back in there. So very similar starts for both these two teams here in the first inning. As Huntington North had runners on first and second with no outs. Chargers had first and second with 1 out. But both pitchers are starting to set in as ball outside starts the at-bat for Bryce Ginder, playing shortstop, batting .352 on the season. That one fouled off, 1-1. Sandlin checks Jones over at second base. Once again. And we've got time called. Sandlin deals bunt attempt from Ginder. Let's say he got out in time and now it runs to 2-1. So Ginder scored the bunt. Trying to get one past the Vikings, it looked like, but couldn't get around to it. Sandlin deals to him, hit on the ground towards second baseman. That one will get through. Jones around, coming for home. Pitch is cut off, throws down to second. And they'll say he's safe. And the Chargers strike first here in the first inning with a Bryce Ginder single that will score Hayden Jones from second. So second hit of the game for the Chargers. Leads to their first run.
Now batting is the designated hitter, number 3, Micah Fretz.
Now the DH, Micah Fretz, will step in. Batting for the second baseman, Noah Lane. Fretz batting .219 on the year. As comes up swinging. Strike one. Sandlin ahead early. Ball in the dirt. Fife able to recover. Keep the runners where they're at. Now Perlick on second and Ginder on first for the Chargers, as Jones was able to come around and score. Didn't look too deterred from what would have been the tough pickoff attempt at second base. So it looks like he was able to shake that off just fine as he was rounding the bases. As that one's in and outside to Fretz. As that one's low and out. 3-1 now for Fretz. Very slow going game so far here in the first inning. As Fretz off the inside of the part of the bat, sends it up into right field. And Ian McCutcheon able to come over and play it. So the Vikings get out of the inning with limited damage, but damage at that 1 run given up as the Chargers were able to knock in 2 hits and score that on a Bryce Skinner single. As we head to the top of the second inning here on SummitCitySports.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home. Or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
There's Ryan looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hit, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne hockey.
McClung with the deke.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
We'll welcome you back here on SummitCitySports.com. Balin Height here along with you. Both these teams gearing up in a crucial matchup before sectional play. As Levi Bennett steps in once again for, on paper, his first at-bat, but technically was in the box as the inning ended on a pickoff attempt at second base previously. Ginder deals, throws ball 1, 1-0. Let's talk about sectionals here a little bit. The Chargers will be playing right here on their home turf. As Ginder pops it in for a strike. They will play Snyder in their first game matchup. If they win that, they are in the championship. As that one shot off left and foul for strike 2 from Bennett. Chargers will play Snyder, as I mentioned. Had a little trouble with the Panthers, have the Chargers this year, as they just recently split a doubleheader last weekend. That's put on the ground. Jake Shirk comes over fields, throws for the first out of the inning. And Bennett is retired. For out number 1. That sectional from Carroll High School will be live here on SummitCitySports.com. Teams featured East Noble, Northrop, Snyder, Carroll, and DeKalb. Strike 1 for Ginder. Snyder, the winner of that sectional. As that one shot out from Williams, and Lane couldn't quite get a hold of it. So the Vikings have a runner on with 1 out here in the left fielder, Bennett. Or excuse me, third baseman Williams. Now the DH in for Gage Sandlin, the pitcher, is Keegan Bartram. Ginder deals low for the ball. The Huntington North sectional will be held at Huntington University Field, where the Vikings are the heavy favorite to take that one. They have a first-round bye, and will play the winner of Southside, and I believe Wayne. As Bartram pops that one foul, strike 1, 1-1 now. That Huntington sectional looking like, on paper, you'd pen the Spartans in against the Vikings, which is a pretty big rivalry for the two. schools. It should make for a great sectional championship. That will also be live here on SummitCitySports.com. That one's fouled back now, 2-1, or 1-2, excuse me. Bartram hits it on the ground. Ginder at short. Able to get the play at second is Lane. And the lead runner out. As Bartram settles for a fielder's choice. And 2 outs. As the catcher, Fife, steps in. Ginder gets ahead with a strike. Fouled off towards a large group of fans. Somebody made a nice catch. As that's tossed back into play. And Ginder with the lead, 0-2 in the count. Checks over at first. So deals. Jones up quick. Thought about a throw down to first. Instead gets it back to the pitcher. Fife, the last batter in the Vikings lineup, so flip over the top. If he gets on, now 2-2. Ginder throws high, full count now after starting off 0-2 on Fife. That one runs low in the dirt, and Fife earns a walk. As the Vikings now have him first and second. Bartram advances to second. Now we'll have a courtesy runner for the catcher, Fife. It's number 1, Logan Moreland. And Landrum back up, starting things off. Led off with a single in his first at-bat. As Ginder pops it in the mitt for a strike. Once again, similar situations for both teams with runners on first and second and 2 outs. In the under it is the right fielder and retires Landrum. So 2 runners get on, but nobody scores for the Vikings, and the Chargers work their way out of the inning. We'll be right back here for the bottom of the second on SummitCitySports.com.
Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
If you're an athlete, you never know when an injury might happen. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine has made the new Ortho Express Clinic. Located inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, the Ortho Express Clinic has everything that an athlete would need, from physicians to athletic rehab and sports performance. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on. Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana with our new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic, offering direct access to physicians and Saturday morning clinics that are convenient for you. Parkview Sports.
Welcome back in here at Carroll High School. As you see right there, 2 hits apiece by both teams with the damage done on a Bryce Ginder single that chased home Hayden Jones. And that's the lone run of the ball game. As the Chargers get set to dig in here, Jake Shirk, third baseman, coming up to bat, batting .290 on the season. As Shirk fouls up the first pitch he sees. Sadlin second setting in here for the second. And pops it in there for strike 2. Now 0-2 on Shirk. Sadlin had some command trouble, albeit a couple close calls didn't go in his favor. As Shirk pops it up. Lesperance under it, second base, and that'll retire Shirk for the first out of the inning. Good start for Sadlin in this one. Lincoln Lance steps in, the sophomore for the Chargers, batting .356 on the season. Lance takes the first pitch he sees for ball 1. That one's in for a strike. As third pitch, swing and miss, and Fife gets it down to Gray to retire Lance. So, my bad on the part of the scoreboard was 0-2. And Crussell, now the number 9 batter, out in left field today, steps in for the first time. Crussell headed to Manchester College to play collegiate ball as he swings through that one for strike 1. So Sandlin looking much more sharper. In this one, this bottom of the second. As he retired the first 2 batters he's faced with a strikeout. And a swing and miss from Crussell. Now a chance to rack up another one. Count 1-2. Crussell flares that to the shortstop. Tough play for the shortstop, but he's able to get it down and retire Crussell for the inning. So 3 up, 3 down. Good inning for Sandlin there from the Vikings, and we'll head to the top of the third with the score still set at 1-0.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it
They
down.
attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Carroll.
Shot hits the post, and the centering feed to Louis Knipscher, shot scores!
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Welcome back here to Carroll High School, SummitCitySports.com, bringing you this coverage. I'd like to remind you of Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. Our elite team of experts in orthopedic surgery, athletic rehabilitation, nutrition, and sports performance training offers athletes coordinated care and instant access at the new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic inside the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Also, ParkviewSportsMedicine.com is the new go-to for local sports with scores, highlights for all area schools. PSM wants to celebrate the accomplishments of the athlete on and off the field. Check it out at ParkviewSportsMedicine.com. To make Parkview Sports Medicine part of your team, give us a call at 266-4007 or log on to ParkviewSportsMedicine.com. So it's youth baseball night here for the local area teams at Carroll High School. Nice to see a good portion of the crowd, or the stands, filled, as we've got a swing from McCutcheon as that one's driven deep off the wall, about flied out as Fish looked up and thought it was gone, and Ian McCutcheon in with a triple to start off the inning. So runner in scoring position just like that on the first pitch. Nice piece of hitting there from Ian McCutcheon, as that was blasted about the deepest part of the ballpark without getting out. Good start for the Vikings here in the third inning. As I mentioned, though, a great Monday night for some baseball. 79 degrees, had some early rain. Thought might jeopardize this one. Skinder throws a strike. And that one's low. Langston Ginder working with a little bit more of a pace here. It's Elliot Lesperance working it. That one stays low. Ball 2, 2-1 now. McCutcheon over at third. That one's popped in there for a ball, 3-1. So Lesperance struck out in his first at bat. So that one in for a strike, full count. And Lesperance looking to even things up here with that runner on third. As that one's popped right between second baseman and shortstop, rolls out to Nate Fish in center field, and the Vikings have their first run of the game on an Elliot Lesperance single. And they'll even it up at 1-1. Still looking to do damage, though, with a runner on first and nobody out. Gray now steps in for the Vikings. Left-handed hitter takes strike one. Looked like he squared down a bunt. And Jones will hop up and get it, try to get a pickoff move down at first. Can't. Outside is the pitch, and it's 1-1 on Gray. As Gray shoots that one into right field. And runners will hold up at one base apiece. And now first and second, nobody out. And the Chargers in a bit of a trouble here. Looks like there's some action down in the Vikings bullpen. And we'll have a mound meeting now amongst the Chargers. See what they'll look to do here. With runners on first and second, nobody out. The Vikings looking to take the lead and do a little bit more than that. Zach Doherty sets in. With one runner in scoring position. I think they were set to bunt. And runners had a peek at the loose ball, but it'll stay right where they're at. Want to know the count. Skinner checks his runners. Now deals. And Jones rips it down to second base, but back in time is Lesperance. 1-1 now the count. Doherty scored a bunt now twice. See if they're going to try to advance the runners once again here. Doherty does square, went for it, missed it, couldn't get it. And now they've got Lesperance in what would have been a rundown, but shortstop Bryce Skinner couldn't quite get a grip on that one. And Lesperance will advance to third. Now runners on the corners. And strike two on the called swing as Doherty missed the bunt attempt. As that one bounces, but blocked by the catcher, Jones. Evens it up 2-2. Would have been a big play there for the Chargers to get the lead runner with nobody out. Skinner deals and Doherty slaps it to the shortstop, flips it to the lane, and gets the double play, but not before another Huntington North run scores. As Lesperance able to advance on the fielder's choice double play. So 2 outs for the Chargers, but another run. For the Vikings, nobody on now. As that one's popped in for a strike. 0-1. Strike two now called. Skinner able to clear the base pass, but unable to keep the run off. Now he's got him empty. As Bennett slaps that one. Could be a tough play, but the right or left fielder Kressel is under it. And that'll retire the Vikings in the top of the third. We'll head to the bottom of the third here, but not before the Vikings able to get 2 across and take the lead here at Carroll High School.
If you're an athlete, you never know when an injury might happen. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine has made the new Ortho Express Clinic. Located inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, the Ortho Express Clinic has everything that an athlete would need, from physicians to athletic rehab and sports performance. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
Get mad about blue. Get mad about your Fort Wayne Mad Ants. When looking for the best basketball action in town, it's the to FortWayneMadAnts.com for the complete game schedule. See your Fort Wayne Mad Ants in action.
Welcome back in here on SummitCitySports.com as the Huntington North Vikings able to take the lead in the top of that frame, the third frame. And Sandlin returns on the mound for the Vikings, as I mentioned some action earlier in the inning down in the Vikings bullpen. But Sandlin will stay in with the lead intact, 2-1 or 2-1. Talk about bullpen activity down the right field line. Chargers are active. Can't quite tell who's throwing down there. But they'll roll around at the top of the order, and it'll be Langston Ginder setting in here.
Leading off the bottom of the third inning to your Carroll Chargers is the pitcher, number 2, Langston Ginder.
Grounded out to first in his first time around the order. Sandlin sets and Ginder slaps that one out deep to center field. But nice play by Colin Landry to track it down, get back to it, and bring it in for the first out of the bottom of the third inning. So Ginder came up swinging first pitch. Got a good part of the bat on the ball. Not quite far enough out of the reach of Landrum in center field. So Jones steps in, who started the inning off with a single for the Chargers last time around the order. Sandlin floats one up high. Ball one. Jones came around to score on the lone run for the Chargers. So this was the start that gave Sandlin a little trouble the first time around, as Jones smacks that one high out into right field, and that's gone. So Hayden Jones will even things up on his own, making it 2-2 here on the shot to deep right. And the Chargers have evened up at 2-2, 10th home run on the season for Jones. And now things will return to even as Fife heads out to the mound to calm down Sandlin. Jones very capable of doing that on a nightly basis. Now reaches the double digits with 10. And Perlick will take ball one. High for ball two. And called strike. 2-1 now on Perlick. Be interesting to see how Sandlin responds here after the home run to Jones. Worked his way back on Perlick to even things up at 2-2. Now gets Perlick chasing on a nice pitch for the K. And 2 outs now here in the inning. Nathan Fish steps in for the Chargers. 3:09. Was unable to reach in his first attempt. At bat, excuse me. He'll dig in here and shoot one to right. That one's deep. And waiting for the call. They'll say a home run. That one was driven really deep out to the parking lot. And now a pair of long balls from the Chargers. gives them the 3-2 lead. Fish crosses home plate. Not quite sure from the view in the press box if that one stayed fair. I saw it bounce out into the parking lot, but Fish able to get his first home run of the season. Mentioned earlier for their speed, not quite the power, but showed you right there he can hit it out. As Bryce Ginder steps in for the Chargers, he drove in Jones in that bottom of the first to give the Chargers the initial 1-0 lead. And now he gets good wood on that one. Drives it out to the center fielder, though, and Landrum's under it, and that'll end the inning. So a pair of long balls from Jones and Fish give the Chargers a 3-2 lead as we head to the top of the fourth inning here on SummitCitySports.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
There's Ryan looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hit, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne hockey.
McClung with the deke.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freebie with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome back in here to Carroll High School on SummitCitySports.com. Balin Height here along with you for this one as the Vikings will look to get back even. We've got a new pitcher on the mound. Oh, excuse me, same pitcher on the mound for the Chargers. In Ginder. Gotten into trouble but limited the damage.
Leading off the top of the fourth inning for Huntington North is the third baseman, number 6, Trey Williams.
Trey Williams will lead it off for the Vikings here in the bottom, or top of the fourth. Takes a first pitch strike. And then shoots that one over to the third baseman, Jake Shirk. Makes the play. Perlick had to go up and get it and use all of that 6'4" frame, but able to retire Williams for the first out of the inning. Now the DH in. Keegan Bartram had a fielder's choice last time up. Wanted to score down to butt, and it's tapped right behind the plate. To the catcher, Jones. Grabs it, holds on to it for strike one. Ginder trying to keep the pace up here a little bit as he deals a nice pitch in there for strike two. As Bartram had to go down and swing hard for it. And now that one slapped to the shortstop, Bryce Ginder. Ranges over, makes it the throw to Perlick, and that's the second out of the inning. So now with the lead back at 3-2, Chargers looking a little bit more poised out in the field. As is the pitcher, Langston Ginder. Dane Fife now in to bat for the Vikings. And Ginder another first pitch strike. And now Fife blasts that one out to right center, where the right fielder Lincoln Lance just ranged over in between Nathan Fish and got that one out. So quick 3 up, 3 down inning for the Chargers. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth here on SummitCitySports.com.
you're an athlete, you never know when an injury might happen. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine has made the new Ortho Express Clinic. Located inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, the Ortho Express Clinic has everything that an athlete would need, from physicians to athletic rehab and sports performance. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
Get mad about blue. Get mad about your Fort Wayne Mad Ants. When looking for the best basketball action in town, it's the Go to Fort Wayne, your Fort Wayne Mad Ants in action. Get mad about blue.
Welcome back here on SummitCitySports.com, where the Carroll Chargers up 3-2 over the Huntington North Vikings. And they'll come in to bat after a pair of long balls in their last round of at-bats put them in the lead. It'll be Micah Fretz leading things off for the Chargers in the DH slot.
Leading off the bottom of the fourth inning for your Carroll Chargers is the designated hitter, number 3, Micah Fretz.
That one in for strike 2. So now Fretz behind 0-2 to Gage Sandlin. Takes the third pitch of the at-bat low. Ball 1, now 1-2. And Fretz gets some air on that one. Lofts it over the reach of Elliott Lesperance at second base. For a hit, the Chargers have their lead man on to start the bottom of the fourth inning.
Now batting is the third baseman, number 14, Jake Shirk.
Fretz chased back down at first. With Shirk up to bat. Check over on Fretz at first again. Back in safely. Sandlin keeping an eye on Fretz at first. Deals it low and out. Ball 2 to Jake Shirk, the third baseman for the Chargers. And that one low. 3-0 now. Now in there for a called strike, 3-1. Jake look for something to hit here. And that one's up and out. Now the Chargers with runners on first and second.
Now batting is the right fielder, number 11, Lincoln Lance.
Sophomore Lincoln Lance, will now step in with nobody out and runners on first and second. Salen steps off, chase the runners back. Sandlin deals as Lance was trying to lay down the bunt. Able to get contact, but ran back towards Fife at the plate for a foul ball. Some more action down in the bullpen for the Chargers. Can't quite get a number on who's down there working. Riley Perlick warming up. Sandlin once again keeping an eye on the runners. As time's given, he steps off and resets now. Fret's in at second. And Jake Shirk down at first for the Chargers. Another square attempt. Lance couldn't get a contact on it, now 0-2. Imagine he'd draw back the bunt and start swinging here. With the count at 0-2. If you're Gage Sandlin, you're looking for the strikeout here to get you an out to start things off with runners at first and second. Once again, time called by the home plate umpire. Sandlin now steps off once again, keeping a cautious eye at the runners. You'd think it might break him out of a little bit of a rhythm. He comes set to Lance, and Lance gets one down in center field. Fret's not the fleetest of foot, coming around third, and he'll score standing up. And off the Lincoln Lance single, Chargers push the lead now to 2 runs. And still no outs, runners on first and second. Head coach Jared Hamill will come out. And now a trio, it looks like, of substitutions for the Vikings as Sandlin's day is done as a starter. Not a bad showing for Sandlin. Had some command issues early in the first couple innings, but limited the damage really. Just those 2 long balls hurt him and took the lead for the Chargers. And then obviously ran into some trouble with this inning. No outs, runners on first and second, and Lance lays it down to double the lead at 4-2. So we'll take a quick timeout here as they warm up. I believe it's going to be Bennett coming in to pitch, Levi Bennett, the junior, for the Vikings. And we'll figure out the rest of the substitutions. Looks like there might have been some movement in the outfield and over at third when we return here on SummitCitySports.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home. Or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
There's Ryan looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hits, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne
Hockey with the deke.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Summit City Sports.
Welcome back here on SummitCitySports.com. Balin Height here with you through this game. We're in the bottom of the fourth as the Chargers have already done some damage, tacking on a run, doubling their lead from 3-2 to 4-2, and that ended Sandlin's day as it'll be Levi Bennett heading to the bump and pitching for the time being. He'll be facing, looks like it'll be Austin Kressel. It's the 9 in the 9 slot, and lineup looking to roll around here, so you'd really like to retire Kressel here before you get to the top of the lineup for Bennett. Shirk on at second, and Lance over at first for the Chargers. As Bennett checks them now. Gets set to deal his first pitch. Now a step back. Checks the runners once again. Double take at second, and we got time called at the plate. Now Bennett deals, and Beans Kressel. Kressel looked like he squared a bunt, took it off the back. If you're going to take a ball like that, it might as well be off the backside. So now the Chargers have pushed them loaded with nobody out, and the top of the order coming around. As Langston Ginter set to hit here. Bennett now steps and pops a strike. Now deals up and out for a ball, 1-1. Now the DH, Keegan Bartram in right, and Ian McCutcheon moves over to left. That was the pair of switches for the Vikings defensively after the pitching change. As Ginder fouls it off, now 1-2. Bennett will look to attack here. We'll look to get the first out of the inning. For Ginder, just get any part of the bat on the ball, force it to the outfield. Possible sac fly. Would score a run. As he does just that, rips it into the gap. That one will get down. This could be 3 runs for the Chargers. As Kressel holds up just the 2 on the Langston Ginder no out 2 RBI double. And the Chargers have pushed the lead now 6-2. Nice piece of hitting there from Langston Ginder. Able to rip it out into the gap between right and center. And they'll intentionally walk Hayden Jones as he was stepping in to hit. Already a home run in this one, but probably a little bit more of a strategy move there as loads the bases, puts a force out just about anywhere for Riley Perlick, who's setting in. Riley Perlick struck out his last at-bat. That one's low in for a strike. Called strike one on Perlick. Now the Chargers with 7 hits to the Vikings 5. Bennett steps, hits it, and Perlick drops an awkward-looking ball, but nice play out there at short from Dougherty. So the runners will stay right where they're at as that one was in the air. That's the kind of out there you're looking for if you're Bennett. With bases loaded. And out and no runs scored. Now 1 out opens things up for the double play for the Vikings. Help them limit the damage just to 3 in this 4th frame. As Fish gets a hold of that one again. And nice play out at the fence. By Landrum. But it'll score the run on the sacrifice fly. Now 7-2 in favor of the Chargers. On the Nathan Fish sac fly, he gave a drive to that one. Hit it deep just like his previous at-bat where he homered. Landrum had just enough room, ran into the fence, was able to turn around. Good mindset as he knew the runners would be tagging with just 1 out. Couldn't get it quite in though. It was hit deep, and the Chargers gain another run. With the shortstop Bryce Skinner setting in, he started things off for the Chargers with the single. Scored the first run. Bennett sends it, and Jones able to swipe a bag with the no throw because of Ginder on third. So now 2 runners in scoring positions for the Chargers. Bryce Ginder up to bat. Count 0-1. So Bennett able to pick up 2 outs, but costed him 3 runs, excuse me. As the last run that went in was charged to him. The previous were inherited runners from Sandlin. Lifted out of play. Now 0-2 on Ginder. Ginder late swing on it. Gets it over to Dougherty at short. Able to make the throw over to Gray. And the Vikings are out of the inning, but not before a 4-run outburst started off by the Langston Ginder double. It scored 2. And the Chargers had a little bit more after that. But we'll head to the top of the 5th inning with the score 7-2 in favor of the Carroll Chargers over the Huntington North Vikings here on SummitCitySports.com.
Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
If you're an athlete, you never know when an injury might happen. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine has made the new Ortho Express Clinic. Located inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, the Ortho Express Clinic has everything that an athlete would need, from physicians to athletic rehab and sports performance. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on. Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana with our new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic, offering direct access to physicians and Saturday morning clinics that are convenient for you. Parkview Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to SummitCitySports.com. Balin Height here along with you. Take a look at the quick score box. We got 7 hits and 7 runs for the Chargers to the 5 hits and 2 runs for the Huntington North Vikings. As Langston Ginder will head back out to the mound. with the 5-run cushion, a little bit more breathing room than he had with it just 3-2, as he was a part of the 4th inning outburst for the Chargers that played them 4 runs. He started things off with the RBI double that scored 2. Now he'll look to help his own cause on the mound and continue to work here. Ginder hasn't been perfect on the mound, but made pitches when he's had to. Currently sitting at 64, 42 strikes to 22 balls. And it'll be Colin Landrum starting things off for the Vikings, looking to make a little rally here, get back into this one.
Leading off the top of the 5th inning for Huntington North is the center fielder, number 16, Colin Landrum.
So Landrum had a single and a pop-out in his last 2 at-bats. Called first strike. Here in the top of the 5th. And that one's chopped foul behind the plate. 0-2, now Ginder ahead. For the way the morning started here in the Carroll area, you would have thought we wouldn't be sitting here playing, talking to you right now. But the weather panned out. Good work by the grounds crew out here at Carroll High School. Able to get the game in as that one floats low for ball 1. Earlier in the day, I was hearing alternate locations, possibly the Ash Center, maybe even Huntington University Field, as Ginder sends Landrum back to the dugout on a 4-pitch strikeout and gets the first out of the inning.
Now batting is the left fielder, number 4, Ian McCutcheon.
Ian McCutcheon now. In to bat. Had the leadoff triple last time he was up to bat. Another strike for Ginder. He was able to score. For the first run for the Vikings, as Ginder early out and ahead 0-2 on McCutcheon. And McCutcheon puts good wood on that one. Out to shortstop, going to have to be a quick throw. Perlick ranges over. Able to grab it. Tried to turn around and get the tag on McCutcheon, but too quick. Good play by both parties. But it nets the Vikings with a hit. Starts things off here with just 1 out. So now Elliot Lesperance. Second baseman set in. And ball 1 taken on Lesperance. Strike 1 evens it up at 1-1. They'll rule it an error. Originally, I would have thought a hit, as it's a tough play for Ginder to range over. But they'll call the off-balance throw an error and not credit the hit to McCutcheon. So that one slapped just over the reach-out glove of the shortstop and rolls in. So now after a quick strikeout, the Vikings looking to make a threat as Jarrett Gray will step in with runners on first and second and just 1 out. Mentioned bullpen activity earlier for the Chargers. That was the first baseman, Riley Perlick, keeping him loose. Could potentially see a move in this inning, if not the next. As Jarrett Gray, the first baseman, will step in. Try to even things back up. Work the way back for the Vikings. Gets a piece on it. Nice diving play from Lane to get the out. Didn't think he was able to get over and make the play at first base. Would have been a force out. They had Lesperance chased back to first. Close play nonetheless. Keeps the runners where they're at and adds an out. So now it's Zach Doherty up to bat, going to try to salvage the inning for the Vikings. Gander will check the runners. Take a step. And Doherty, first pitch, swinging. Pops it over to the first baseman. Riley Perlick calls it off and gets under it. So a minor threat from the Vikings turns into no runs, as they had runners on first and second with one out in the inning. Couldn't capitalize on it, though. And we'll head to the bottom of the fifth here with the Chargers still with the lead over the Vikings 7-2 on SummitCitySports.com.
For an athlete, you never know when an injury might happen. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine has made the new Ortho Express Clinic. Located inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, the Ortho Express Clinic has everything that an athlete would need, from physicians to athletic rehab and sports performance. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
Get mad about blue. Get mad about your Fort Wayne Mad Ants. When looking for the best basketball action in town, it's the Go to FortWayneMadAnts.com for the complete game schedule. See your Fort Wayne Mad Ants in action. Get mad.
Welcome back here on SummitCitySports.com. Set in here for the bottom of the fifth inning, as the Vikings mounted a little bit of a threat there after Langston Ginder got the inning off with a strikeout. Runners on first and second, but couldn't capitalize. Some more bullpen action for the Chargers. So we look down to the right field corner. It's the catcher Hayden Jones warming up to pitch. Chargers often bring him in as more in the closer role. We'll see if they're just getting him loose, or we're going to try to work him in for these final two innings. I would think you would try to see how long you can go maybe with Ginder in the next inning. And then if things get out of hand, maybe bring in Jones. I just don't see the benefit in taking away that defensive ability behind the plate this early with the 5-run lead, possibly more, as Micah Fretz steps in. Takes a first pitch strike. As Levi Bennett still on the mound. Worked his way out of trouble in the last inning. And Fretz swings right through that one. Good pitch from Bennett. 0-2. Vikings looking for a quick inning to get the bats back around and going. 5-run deficit might have to start a little early. That one's close, but outside. 1-2. That one's low. Fretz thought about it, but held his ground. And evens the count at 2-2. Run's been particularly tough to come by for both teams outside of that 4-run outburst in the fourth from the Chargers. A couple of solo home runs for the Chargers gave them the lead early. As Fretz flares it out of play towards the batting cages, rattles off. Looks like one of the metal bars. Pretty tough place to hit, and bounced onto the hill. So Fretz steps back in at 2-2. And he sets down, does Bennett Fretz for the first out of the inning on the strikeout. Jake Shirk steps now in to hit. And shoots that one foul and out of play for strike one. That one's low and out. Evens things up at 1-1. And that one's low. Put Shirk out in front now, 2-1. One out now. As Jones still warming up out in the bullpen. Shirk hits it on the ground. Dougherty makes a nice play over to the first baseman, Jarrett Gray, retiring Shirk. Now 2 outs. So good start to the inning. The first 2 outs, 2 up, 2 down so far for Bennett. Vikings looking for their first scoreless inning since the second. Chargers have runs in all 3 of the other frames. So that one's in for ball 1. It's Lincoln Lance, right fielder, at the plate for the Chargers. Bennett steps, Lance hits it on the ground, right back to Bennett. Make the throw over to the first baseman, Gray, and a 3 up, 3 down inning for Levi Bennett. Nice work. Puts the Vikings back in the dugout and back at the plate as we'll return here on Summit City Sports. Carroll still leads 7-2.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Carroll.
Shot hits the post, and the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores!
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Welcome back to Carroll High School, where the Carroll Chargers lead the Huntington North Vikings 7-2 here as we step in to the top of the 6th inning. I'd like to remind you, Big Eyed Fish supports Fort Wayne area athletics and has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Originally located at the historic 1502 North Wells Street. You can also visit their express locations at 3001 Hillegas Road and their express north location at 10380 Leo Road. Big Eyed Fish has a 4.3-star ranking out of 5 with over 215 Google reviews. Find us at the original BigEyedFish.com and the BigEyedFishExpress.com. And like our Facebook pages for updated promotions. Enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at the Big Eyed Fish. Pitcher Levi Bennett stepping in for what head coach Jared Hamill hopes a 6-inning rally as he squares the bunt. Looks like called strike might have went through on the bunt. And it's still Ginder out on the mound as I expected for the 6th. As Bennett swings through it. Now Ginder ahead 0-2. That one low in the dirt. Held by the catcher Jones. Moves the count to 1-2. That one low. It looked like Bennett thought about going after it, but saw it went toward, or saw it tracking down into the dirt, held off. Evens the count 2-2. That one low. Full count now. Bennett worked it full after starting at 0-2, trying to help his own cause. As he swings right through that one, and Ginder sets him down for the first out of the inning. So back-to-back first at-bat strikeouts. First batter strikeouts in the inning for Langston Ginder, as he has settled down through 5 1/3. starts off Trey Williams on a ball. As that one's a low called strike, 1-1. That one slapped down. Jake Shirk at third takes his time, fields it, and gets it over to Perlick for the out. So Williams retired. Now 2 quick outs for the Chargers. It'll be Keegan Bartram. Was in at DH. Now he's moved over to right field. With 2 outs. If I haven't mentioned earlier, Ginder committed to Ball State collegiately next season. Now he started on Bartram 2-0. Looks like some action down in the Vikings bullpen. As that one's slapped foul for the first strike, 2-1. Ginder would really like to get out Bartram here as he'd start the next inning off. As there's a strike, evens it at 2-2. Start the next inning off with Fife, the catcher, at the 9 spot before rolling over to the top of the lineup. That's hurt the Chargers a little bit tonight, producing those 2 runs. And Ginder throws it low. Looks like Bartram just got a piece of it, staying alive at 2-2. Ginder sets and throws. Low pitch. Bartram contact. Lane comes up, firing to first, and got him. A little bit closer than it may have first appeared. But the Chargers with a 3-up, 3-down inning and head to the bottom of the 6th where they will be batting. And Bennett looks like he's going to trot back out there. As we'll head to a break here on SummitCitySports.com. Still the score, Carroll ahead of Huntington North 7-2.
Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
If you're an athlete, you never know when an injury might happen. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine has made the new Ortho Express Clinic. Located inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, the Ortho Express Clinic has everything that an athlete would need, from physicians to athletic rehab and sports performance. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on. Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana with our new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic, offering direct access to physicians and Saturday morning clinics that are convenient for you. Parkview Sports.
Welcome back here on SummitCitySports.com. Local Fort Wayne sports. The Fort Wayne Comets have won 9 championships in 65 years of calling Fort Wayne home. The Comets have attracted over 1.2 million fans at the Coliseum over the past 4 years with an average attendance of over 7,500 fans per game. For game info and tickets, go to Comets.com. You can also follow Comets on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you're looking for something to do this week, Comets just evened things out with 1-1 in the series in Colorado. We'll be heading home. I believe they have a game Wednesday night and Friday night at the Coliseum. And I think a potential Game 5 will be played at the Coliseum as well. So they are still in the ECHL playoffs. But back to baseball here. As the 9 spot is Austin Kressel for the Chargers, and he'll lead things off in the bottom of the 6th frame. Chargers still have the 5-run lead as Kressel fouls it off. Typical situations for the Chargers would be to bring in their closer, the catcher Hayden Jones, but Ginder has looked good and settled down. Put up 3 scoreless frames, so might leave him in there for the final frame. up and in for ball one. It's Bennett still on the mound and no defensive changes in the field for the Vikings. Bennett floats it in there just outside ball two. Bennett deals and Kressel sends it up into right field in the air. Too much room to cover out there as it drifted. Just foul for the right fielder, Keegan Bartram, but evens the count at 2-2. Great night for baseball out here at Carroll High School, but definitely some stuffy conditions, humidity. Creeping up after the rain this morning. As Kressel lofts that to left, and it'll get down for a leadoff single for Austin Kressel. And now the top of the order up for the Chargers in Ginder, Jones, and Perlick with the man aboard. Sun's starting to set now behind us. As the lights are on, not quite necessary yet. But the stadium lights shown on the field now. Bennett steps off now. Holds Kressel at first. Strike one is called on Langston Ginder. Ginder really broke this game open with a 2 RBI double in the bottom of the fourth, as well as kept it where it is at 7-2 on the mound. Some good pitching and some great defense behind him. He'll sky it out, drifting foul, and too far for the reaches of the Vikings' Ian McCutcheon. Pushes it to 0-2. Now Ginder hits it on the ground. Second baseman, Lesperance, able to get it, and a double play will clear the bases for the Vikings. Nice work out in the field. Makes it 2 outs and nobody on. Big out as the power hitter for the Chargers, Hayden Jones, already 1 home run in this one. Up to bat with nobody on. Limit the possibility for the Chargers rally. That one's thrown in first pitch low. Ball one. Sandlin fires ball two. Lone away on Jones. So that one's low, ball three. Not giving Jones very much to hit here. But with 2 outs, you certainly don't want to put another runner on. Chance of a 2-run rally. As Riley Perlick and Nate Fish have had their own success at the plate this game. That one's low and away, a 4-pitch walk to Hayden Jones. Puts him on with 2 outs. Now Bennett will have to go after Riley Perlick here.
Now batting is the first baseman, number 21, Riley Perlick.
As Perlick steps in, and Bennett will look to go. Jones has swiped the base already in this one. So he gets a quick check from Bennett. Now Bennett pauses, holds, and there goes Jones. Down and in, safe as the throw just goes a little right to the reaches of Dougherty. And that'll move Jones to second in scoring position with just 2 outs. Perlick with a chance to add on to the Chargers' lead. Now Perlick hits it. Foul ball rolls towards Charger dugout. Pushes the count to 0-2. Bennett would like to get Perlick here. Get out of the inning. It's already down 5. Vikings have a ways to go if they're going to get back into this one. Deals and sets, and Perlick rips it out into the gap. Nice play, though, by Colin Landrum to range over, make up a lot of distance, and grab that one to retire Perlick and end the inning. It'll be 7-2 heading to the final potential inning here in the top of the 7th, where the Carroll Chargers still lead the Huntington North Vikings 7-2. Vikings at the bat when we come back here on SummitCitySports.com.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it
They
down.
attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Carroll.
Shot hits the post, and the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores!
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Welcome back here on SummitCitySports.com as we are in the top of the 7th. Get you a quick look at the hits and the errors as far as the game goes here so far. As Langston Skinder, today will be done after 6 innings of 2-run ball. Worked into some trouble throughout that early on, but able to get a couple timely plays in the field and a couple Ks to work his way to a nice little outing. He's in line for the win as the closer. Hayden Jones will work in for the Chargers. Hard-throwing right-hander. Normally found behind the plate, but head coach Dave Ginder likes to bring him in for these closing situations. As not a save statistically, but big momentum here with a 5-run lead. Wouldn't like to give it up. Get your best guy in there as Ginder, the pitcher, will move back to shortstop, and Bryce Ginder, who was at short, will move to catch. As we're set in here for the final potential frame. Chargers protect a 5-run lead, or the lead at all, and they'll end with a win. For the Vikings, it's all about base runners here early on. Moreland will pitch hit to start things off, and he comes up swinging. First strike. As Jones deals, pops it in for strike 2. Really bringing the heat is Jones in those first 2 pitches. Moreland was a little bit behind on the first one. It didn't go for the second as Jones comes set and throws right through the bat of Moreland. A 3-pitch strikeout for Hayden Jones. And the Chargers have the first out of the inning, now 2 outs away. Colin Landrum now. The order rolls over for the Vikings, so they'll have Landrum, McCutcheon, and then Lesperance and Gray behind those two if those two reach. As Landrum pops it right up. Perlick ranges over. Looks like he's going to run out of room. And it runs foul for strike 1. Some scores from around the area. Dwanger defeats Southside 2-0. Southside will be featured in that Huntington North sectional potential matchup as Jones comes and throws his first ball of the appearance, as Huntington North could have the potential to match up with them in that sectional, as Huntington North has the bye. And he'll play the winner of Wayne and Southside. 2-1 now here for Landrum. 1 out in the inning. Jones comes set. They'll call it low. 3-1. Jones hitting that spot pretty consistently, but umpire not giving the nod as that one's popped up now. Looks like it's going foul, and Jake Shirk will loft under it for the second out of the inning. So Landrum pops foul, and now Ian McCutcheon, the last hope for the Vikings. They'll need a 2-out rally to extend this game or take the lead. Ian McCutcheon, who has tripled in this one, probably put the best at-bat together of any Viking today off Langston Ginder. Nice deep triple to the gap. He takes ball 1 low. Able to score on a fielder's choice. He's now ahead on the pitcher Hayden Jones, 2-0. Jones throws it in for a swinging strike. McCutcheon steps out, tightens his gloves at 2-1. And that one is slapped out of the reach of Jake Shirk and Langston Ginder, so little life from the Vikings, and McCutcheon's on with a 2-out single. And that'll be Elliot Lesperance, who has a hit in this one. Up to bat to try to extend the inning. Need base runners here for the Vikings. They're down 5 runs. And he'll pop that one straight up. Bryce Ginder, the catcher, under it. Able to get it, and that will end the game as the Carroll Chargers get a much-needed win over the newly #1 ranked Huntington North Vikings. Chargers will move to 16-7 on the season. The Vikings will move to 21-2. Good game by both parties. It was that 4th inning that really did it for the Chargers. We come back with our player of the game and the wrap-up here from SummitCitySports.com.
Friday night lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hit, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne hockey.
McClung with the dink.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and
Welcome back here on SummitCitySports.com, where we've got a final out at Carroll High School. It's the Carroll Chargers defeating the Huntington North Vikings by a final score of 7-2. As some timely hitting for the Chargers and some good pitching will give them the win. Like I mentioned, a much-needed win as they were 1-6 over their last 7 games. After starting the season 14-1, it was Langston Ginner getting the win. He'll move to 4-1 on the season. In the start, he went 6 strong, only 2 earned runs. Actually, I take that back. I think they're going to credit at least one of those runs with an error. So 2 total, 1 earned run. And that will do it. He's our player of the game on the mound and at the plate, as he went 6 strong, as I mentioned, but also the 2 RBI double that really broke the game open for the Chargers and finished things off. So that'll do it here from Carroll High School. For me, Balin Height, along with you all night long. We'll be live once again later in the season for sectional play. We'll have the Huntington North, the sectional championship, not the entire tournament here at Carroll. We will have the entire tournament live on SummitCitySports.com. But just to say that again, the Carroll tournament will be live all through, and the Huntington North game will be just the championship game, as we expect a couple of Fort Wayne teams, or as we expect Homestead and Huntington North to make a nice push over there. And here, multiple Fort Wayne teams in contention, Snyder possibly, Northrop, and Carroll High School. So a big win for Carroll gets them back on track. As I mentioned, 16-7 will move their record to, and Huntington North drops to 21-2. Previously, I would imagine the number 1 ranked team. They were the number 1 ranked team coming to this one, and we'll probably not say, but they won't fall far as just 1 loss. It's baseball. Anybody can beat anybody on a certain given day, as we saw tonight. Don't undercredit the Carroll Chargers, though. They played hard and got the win. For SummitCitySports.com, I'm Balin Height signing off on the night. Enjoy your rest of your Monday night, everybody, here in the Summit City.